Welcome to this week's 360 show. It's episode 17 of season 4. We've come a long way. We cover the qualification scenarios of this year's IPL, also setting the record straight with Virat Kohli's criticism he's been catching about his strike rate, and we'll also hear what he's got to say about that. How do you stop the flow with high-scoring games in the IPL? We talk strategies and leadership. Proteas T20 Squad has been announced, also a couple of other teams' squads have been announced, and Kirsten will be the white ball coach for Pakistan. We covered all on this week's 360 show. Let's go. As we look at the points table, a lot's happened over the last week or so. A lot of teams lying in 4, 5, 6, 7 around that area have not taken the opportunity to cement their spot in that knockout stages, which opens up the highlighted team in the 10th spot. That's why I highlighted it. Royal Challengers Bengaluru. We'll be hoping for more of that this coming week. Obviously, they've got to win all their games, but they will want those middle tier teams to keep losing, some of the top teams to run away with it, and that'll give them the best chance to qualify. Talking about RCB, Will Jacks is the talk of the town at this moment. I told you guys about this guy a while ago with the SA20s, the way he was batting for the Pretoria Capitals. I got very excited when he got picked up by RCB, but very disappointed when he didn't start as often as I wanted him to in the start of this season. And he just proves my point here at Ahmedabad the other day, scoring that amazing 100, batting with Virat Kohli at the other end. Virat playing the glue role again, that cement role that he has done so well for so many years. And then just allowing Will Jacks, after getting to his 50 or 31 balls, to score that next 50 in only 10 balls. It was entertainment at its best. Virat was quoted saying, "I think it's one of the better T20 hundreds anyone would ever see, and I was just happy. I was down at the other end watching it so closely." So Will Jacks certainly has made a big difference in this team. We will talk a little bit about strategies with regards to that top 3 and what I have in mind. Whether it's going to happen or not, I don't know, but we'll get to that. But a great win for RCB nonetheless. They are on the right track at the moment. Keep it going, guys. They're playing exceptionally well, and all they got to focus on now is one step at a time. Keep winning those games, and hopefully the rest will fall in place. Is it destiny for them? We know the women's team won, so hopefully they find a way in the back door here to qualify for the knockouts, and then anything can happen. Virat Kohli catching criticism about his strike rate. It's been going on for way too long, and I am sort of fed up with that now. I'm frustrated, to say the least. This guy is one of the best players to ever play the game of cricket. He's incredible in the IPL. He plays a certain role for RCB. And I've pretty much had enough of data-driven pundits who keep criticizing this man when you don't really have knowledge of the game. How many games of cricket have you played? How many IPL hundreds have you scored? Virat was quoted saying, "All the people who talk about strike rates and me not playing spin well are the ones talking about this stuff. For me, it's about winning the games for the team, and there's a reason why I've done it for 15 years. He's been doing it day in and day out, guys. He's won games for the team, playing in a certain way. He's got a formula, and it's up to the rest of the team, the coach, the captain, to strategize around that." And personally, for me, I spoke about an idea that I have. I still, to this day, as always, I thought that Virat is best at number 3. I would still bat him there. He loves opening the batting, and his record speaks for itself. It's incredible. But I do feel with the makeup of this team, with Will Jacks opening, with Faf, it will give them the best opportunity to get a flying start. Virat has got the perfect opportunity to play that cement role that he has for so many years. And his strike rate, by the way, this season is even better than that record-breaking season he had not so long ago. So I don't know where the criticism is coming from. He's batting like a dream at the moment. He's keeping the team together. He's allowing guys like Will Jacks, like DK, to actually go out and express themselves and have that huge impact that they have been having in this tournament so far. So for all I care, Virat, keep playing like you are playing. Do think about that number 3 spot. I would absolutely love to see that happen so that Will Jacks and Faf can get a bit of momentum up front, go harder than usual. Virat can come in somewhere in the top 6 overs and find his groove, find his rhythm, get a couple of boundaries, and get into his innings, and then build around that's over 7 to 15. That's where I feel he's the most destructive, best in the world, best I've ever seen. He keeps everyone together. And once again, I'm going to say it again, he allows guys like Will Jacks, Maxwell, DK, the rest, Lonro, to come out and play with more freedom because Virat's always there at a strike rate of 140, 150, 160, keeping things together. And it allows the rest of them to free up and express themselves. So keep going, RCB, onwards and upwards. As I said in my tweet, Will Jacks has always been the answer, and I'm very happy to see him in the starting lineup. Pretty sure that will happen for the upcoming games as well. Now, the next topic is stopping the flow. What do you do with all these high-scoring games that we've seen in this year's IPL? What do you do as a captain, as a coach, as a bowling unit, when you know that 230, 240 is probably going to be a bar score? It can be very intimidating. You can lose the plot completely. My message to the players in those kind of situations have always been that if a pass score is 230, 240, let's just fight for every inch. Every single run can make a difference. And that comes down to the fielding group as well. Every stop in that inner ring, saving a boundary and making it a 2 or 3. Those are the small margins that at the end of the day make you cross the line and help you win the game. We've seen, for instance, RCB's chase the other day, chasing 260 and coming up short by 25 odd runs. But with a fielding effort, they probably let go of 25 odd runs because they started giving up, not giving up, but sort of losing interest, going away from your strategies, not thinking that every ball is as important as they should. And unfortunately, in those high-scoring games, that's always the case. When the team bats first and you see them on 200 after 15 or 16 overs, it can be demoralizing and you sort of lose focus and attention to detail in those last 4 or 5 overs that ends up costing you 20 to 30 runs. And when you look at it, back at it at the end of the game, you are regretting the fact that you did that because you see how good the wicket actually was. And it wasn't bad bowling. It's just a matter of losing the game plan at the time and not sort of stepping away from your blueprint as a team. And I think teams like CSK have done exceptionally well to maintain that calmness and composure throughout the 20 overs, even though it's a high-scoring game sometimes. They just never let go. And I think MS Dhoni plays a huge role behind the stumps, making sure that happens. There's attention to detail with every little angle. He makes sure the guys are in the right place. He makes sure the guys keep doing the basics well and stick to the game plans. What do you want for a batter at the end when you're bowling? What do you want him to do? You want him to score in one part of the ground, one side of the wicket. The minute the ball starts flying 360 degrees, you're in big trouble as a bowling unit. So that's what MS has done really well. He tells the bowler, for instance, now we're going to go to the wide line. Make sure the batter only scores on the offside. If you see him stepping across, go even wider. Stick to the game plans. Have your 1 or 2 options to surprise him. The element of surprise is always important, but 90% of the time, stick to your blueprint and make sure we stick to what's been working for us as a team. We need a bit more discipline, I think, from the RCB bowling unit with regards to that, making sure they check in with the game plans with every single over. Even halfway through overs, when a bowler loses the plot for the first 2-3 balls, make sure there's a leader stepping up to him and saying, remember your game plan. Remember, we want him to score on the offside, or remember your slower ball. It's been working well for you. Don't lose the plot because these 10 to 15 runs can end up costing us the game. So, long story short, high-scoring games, how to stop the flow, attention to detail, one ball at a time. Remember your game plans, do the basics well. That's what guys like Jasper Bumrah does so well. That's why he's the best in the world. Moving on then to the T20 squads, the South African squad has been announced. Aiden Markram as captain. No Faf du Plessis, I see here. That's a big surprise to me. I honestly thought with his experience and the way he's playing, there's one more World Cup in it for him. But Quinton de Kock makes it, which is a bit of a surprise. Someone who's been on the side, but we know what he's capable of. I'm very happy to see him there. I wasn't sure if the selectors would take a chance with some of those guys that don't really play international cricket anymore. But other than that, pretty stock standard team. The guys who have played well in the SA20 tournament have been picked, and I really like to see that with travelling reserves as well. Nandre Burger, Lungi Ngidi. Bit of a surprise not seeing Nandre Burger in that team. He's bowled extremely well. He's in the IPL. for RR, and unfortunately he's only a travelling reserve. At least he will be there. And also Lungi Ngidi, a travelling reserve. But other than that, really good team. I see Tristan Stubbs there, Heinrich Klaassen, the usual suspects, KG Rabada, Anrich Norkia, who's been a little bit out of form lately, but hopefully he will find that form going into the World Cup. Let's keep in mind he's been bowling at the Delhi ground, which is the ball's been flying all over. The more pace you put on it there, it seems to just be flying even further. So I don't think there are any doubts with regards to his ability. But this is a really good team, and I think they stand a really good chance to do well at the 2024 T20 World Cup. Also, the English and the New Zealand squads have been announced, with England there, Josh Buttler as captain. Jofra Archer makes a comeback. Great to see his name there. Other than that, no real surprises. You are familiar with most of those names. Most of them play in the IPL. Johnny Bairstow comes to mind with that amazing 100 recently. Most of these guys are in good form, and the England team, having won this T20 World Cup a few times before, will certainly be one of the favourites. New Zealand's team also been announced with Kane Williamson as captain. Very, very consistent with regards to their squad. If you look at the 2022 World Cup squad, there's only two changes, 2.5 years later, which is incredible, very consistent. And I like that kind of consistency with the selectors. Most of those team names also play in the IPL. You are familiar with that. It's a very exciting time to be a cricket fan. I am very much looking forward to this World Cup. Also, the venue thereof in the States and the West Indies. Very much looking forward to watch those games and to grow the viewership of cricket around the world. It'll be great to see some cricket in the States. And then let me know what you think about your World Cup squads. If you're from India or Pakistan, from Bangladesh, from the West Indies, Australia, wherever you are, let me know, thumbs up or thumbs down. Are you happy with your T20 World Cup squad? Those who have not been announced yet, I'm sure it'll be out really soon. Very much looking forward to put it all on paper for you guys, probably next week, and compare some of the squads and see who I think stands the best chance of winning that World Cup. Then big news, Gary Kirsten is the white ball coach for Pakistan. But why Pakistan, Gary? So Gary was told, was quoted saying, I was offered the role to begin with, and I think Pakistan sits as one of the top 4 or 5 coaching jobs in the world. Gary, I've played under him. He's a very, very inspirational character. He's an absolute legend of the game, a legend of South African cricket. And he's quoted saying here that he feels he's got the ability and the opportunity to change players and to have a huge say and an impact on that team. The proposition to work with some of the best cricketers in the world was appealing to me, and that sort of tells a story about him. He rather sees himself as a character that can be in a partnership with the players, and that is crucially important for a coach to communicate in that way. I'm not better than you. I'm here to be your partner through ups and downs, through pressure situations, through the good times and the bad. And that's what he was to me when he was coach of South Africa. That was what he was for India cricket when they won the World Cup in 2011. You saw huge growth with the individuals of that Indian team in that year. And Gary is the ultimate when it comes to that. So I can just tell you guys right now, prepare for a much more organized Pakistan team. Prepare for some individuals who will truly step up their games and explode as cricketers and probably announce themselves on the world stage, taking their games to the next level. They will be a team to contend with. They're a very good side, especially in white ball cricket, and I'm expecting them to knock on the door of those knockouts in the T20 World Cup. And then some comments in the descriptions box that you guys asked me. Let's go through this quickly. Will Jack should open ahead of Kohli. Is what one of you guys have said here, as Kohli should be ready for number 3 in T20 World Cup. I did cover this earlier in the show, and I do agree with it. I've always seen Virat as a number 3 bat. I love that position for him. I don't want him to take too many risks in overs 1, 2, and 3. Leave it up to some other guys like a Will Jacks or a Faf to take those risks, who are more of a power player combo. And then Virat, the absolute master of dominating bowling attacks by playing smart cricket shots, not taking a lot of risk, but still scoring around the 150 strike rate. Very impactful, especially through those middle overs. And that's where I want to see Virat operate. So I do agree with that comment. Thanks for that. Another comment says here, they are spoiling cricket with these pitches and impact player rule. There's only been one 260 plus score in 16 years and seven 260 plus scores in this year alone, only halfway through the tournament. Simply incredible. I do feel the wickets have been super good. If you have wickets like that, you need to change a couple of rules, maybe get rid of that impact player rule. And as I discussed in the live show, maybe take the fielding restrictions out of play for this first 6 overs. Let the captain have the freedom of putting 5 on the boundary if he wants to do that. AB Sir, RCB retentions for 2025. Now, why are we talking about retentions when the tournament's still going on? Come on, guys, it's not over yet. It sounds like some of us have given up. It's not over yet. I do have a sneaky feeling that RCB might just qualify for this year's knockout. So I wouldn't go as far as to look at retentions already for 2025. But if you do have to talk about planning for next year's IPL, I've told you guys that I would like to see another X Factor spinner in that team. That's the one thing that I feel we've been coming up short with. And then retention-wise, I think Will Jacks have put up his hand. Mohammad Siraj, Virat Kohli, possibly Faf, if he still wants to keep going as captain there with the RCB team. He's turning 40 this year like me, so I don't know where he's at mentally. Not seeing him in the T20 World Cup squad, I don't know how that's going to affect him. But let's see. That will probably be my 4 picks. And then you save up a lot on the rest of the squad. Maybe a Maxwell as well. I forgot about him. He hasn't had a very good season so far, but it's good to see him on the park again. And hopefully he's got a trick up his sleeve for the last bit of this tournament and hopefully for those knockouts. Never count Maxi out. So maybe we do retain those 5 players and keep that senior group, experienced players, and build around some other players as well. Keep a hold of your local talent, the Bengaluru youngsters who are in the squad, grow with them. I've mentioned that before, and then X Factor spinner or 2 would be absolutely fantastic. All right, 360 point of view. As you guys know, I was in Mauritius not long ago with a family. I pulled together a nice video with my Ray-Ban Meta sunglasses for you guys to give you a bit of my point of view around this fantastic place that we visited. Constance Belmar Plage is what it's called, and it's in Mauritius, and I hope you enjoy this video. Let's have a look at it. 360 view. Hello there everyone. I'm on holiday with the family. It is school holidays in South Africa, and we've decided to come to a very special place called Mauritius. So, without wasting your time, let's have a look at this place. Nothing better than a bit of family time, that's for sure. Just great scenes, such fantastic memories, even though it just happened the other day. You heard me shouting there, Salakap Namde. I still believe, and I hope all the RCB fans out there still believe with me too. RCB on a roll, and hopefully they'll keep going back-to-back wins, and hopefully more to come. But there's absolutely nothing more special than spending a bit of time with your family, doing crazy things like to get on a tube and let a boat pull you into the waters, of the ocean. We had so much fun, and I decided to do stuff that I would normally not do with the children, just to give them those experiences that they'll remember for the rest of their lives. I remember those little moments growing up when I was 3, 4, 5 years old, things that's still with me, and that I appreciate so much of my parents that would really be creative with experiences, taking us out there to see the world or to experience nature. And those are the special stuff that I'll remember for the rest of my life. And the goal for this trip was to connect as a family and to give the kids experiences they can hold on forever. Guys, news just broke that the Indian T20 squad has been announced. As I was recording, I literally just saw this pop up, so I'm going to pull it up for you guys. As you know, this is a recorded session, so this will only go out tomorrow, so it'll be old news then, but it literally happened as I was recording the show. Rohit Sharma, captain, Virat Kohli in the team, no surprises. But there were some of you that were doubting that a while back when Rohit and Virat were unsure if they're going to make it to the T20 World Cup this year. But the both of them are there, and makes me very happy to say that, two very experienced campaigners. And I think it's a great move. And I mean, Jaiswal, Suryakumar Yadav, Rishabh Pant playing the cricket of his life. What a great team this is. I think there's fantastic balance. Very happy to say that Sanju Samson is in that side. I'm a big fan. I've told you guys this before. He's had a great season with RR. Also, another leader in that side. Hardik Pandya, another leader. He's vice captain. Shivam Dube, good to see him there. He's had a wonderful season and been rewarded for being so consistent for CSK. Will he maybe be able to hold the ball as well? He hasn't bowled a lot, but hopefully in the T20 World Cup, he will get the opportunity to play as an all-rounder. Ravi Jadeja, no surprises. Akshar, Kuldeep Yadav, Yuzi Chahal. Woohoo! You go, you good thing. I know how much this will mean to him. I'm extremely happy for him. I know that's how much pain he's been through, missing out on some World Cups in his career, some big tournaments. Yuzi, congratulations, my friend. You deserve every bit of that. Arshdeep Singh, Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Siraj. And as with everything in life, with excitement, there's also disappointment. Some players missing out. There's no KL Rahul there, no Ishan Kishan. Huge disappointment for both of them. Fantastic players. And it is sad to say that, but I'm pretty sure they will regroup and fight for their spots again in the future. Also in the reserves box, Shubman Gill, Rinku Singh. Big surprises there, right? Shubman has been absolutely phenomenal for GT, and Rinku Singh has had a great tournament for KKR as well. So some surprises and disappointment there as well for the players. It is the hardest job in the world to be a selector, and the selection panel must sometimes make some very tough decisions. At the end of the day, if you look at that squad, it looks good. It is a fantastic side, and it's got the potential to win that World Cup. If some of these players get into good form and take that to the World Cup, they stand a really good chance. Unlucky to the players missing out. Unfortunately, that is part of the game. It doesn't mean it's the end of the road. You get up, you work harder, and you put up your hand and you go again. No, that is the name of the game. So that's all for this week's 360 show. Then subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, and also like today's show. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you for 360 Live this coming weekend.